offensive, work the score, not spend like almost 2 minutes on the bottom. Yeah, definitely.
Cowboys have a pretty tough one coming up here. Pretty busy schedule down the road. Oregon State, Northern Iowa, Iowa State. 4 of those 5 teams ranked. 2 of those top 5 teams we were talking about earlier, Iowa State and Missouri, coming up in the next few weeks. And then beyond Missouri, South Dakota State, Oklahoma, and Iowa. They will run the gauntlet of the Big 12.
Yeah, and that matchup with Iowa is always a great one between the 2 of them.
And that's at the end of the year on national television. So here are the heavyweights: Konner Doucet of Oklahoma State and Michael Wolfgram of West Virginia. Doucet has wins against a ranked opponent in 3 of his last 4 bouts. No chance for that today, as Wolfgram's fallen just out of the top 30. Got a top 10 win against number 9 Dayton Hitzer of Pitt on Friday. He comes in on a 4-bout win streak. 4 ranked wins this season, as we said. But we talked to John Smith about him, and the first thing he says was, yeah, but he's got to score more. I'd like to see him score more.
I'm pretty sure he might say that about a lot of people. I'd like to see him score more.
And that's always the knock on heavyweights.
Fair. You know, well, to a degree, right? So some of them really score quite a bit. They're very athletic, do a lot of movement, do a lot of really nice things. And scoring a lot of times is a little bit about pace and a little bit about willingness. A lot of times they'll get stuck being right in front of one another.
Michael Wolfgram out of York, Pennsylvania.
The difference is when somebody 260 pounds comes down on top of you, that's a little different force than somebody 190 pounds, right? I mean,
Wolfgram comes in off of a technical fall against Columbia that swung the duel in the favor of the Mountaineers. They won that duel on Sunday, 22-21, and they needed a tech fall. They needed that kind of a point margin, and Wolfgram went out and delivered.
Right, which means that's scoring points, right? So
they needed a grand slam. He hit a grand slam.
They could definitely do that. You know, and he's kind of, believe he's 0-3 against Doucet in their head-to-head matchups. And
these 2 have seen each other before. Doucet has won all 3.
And so one of the things you look at if you're West Virginia, and Wolfgram obviously win the match, but closing the gap, right? And being able to score some points and put yourself in a position to win. He's been wrestling really well. He hasn't won all the matches, obviously, but he's been wrestling very well.
We talked about him in the Peyton Hall match. He was the biggest cheerleader / coach for Hall. How much juice do you get from that?
What it demonstrates to me is the connectivity people have from a team standpoint, right? Are we out there rooting for one another? You know, you think of it as an individual sport. Yeah, you are out there by yourself on the mat, but you're really not by yourself. You got people, your coaching staff and your teammates that are all, aside from the stands and whatnot, they're all rooting for you. They practice with you. They work with you every day.
We've been teammates for a few years. So you think there's a relationship here too. Hey, if you love both wrestling and gymnastics, we got an event for you. Beauty and the Beast returns to the Coliseum. You can enjoy both wrestling and gymnastics in an event where both meets happen simultaneously. Mountaineer wrestlers take on Glenville State. The gymnastics squad will take on Denver and Iowa State. It all happens Sunday, February 18th at 2 p.m. here at the WVU Coliseum.
Yeah, just a nice job by Doucet in that stand-up where they do sort of that knee sort of tripod stand-up, cover your inside and get yourself to your feet, sort of lock off the person from the top standpoint, and nice easy turn, you get an escape. So you might like to see this pick up a little bit in this period, right? There's a shot.
Trying to get both legs.
Right?
Doucet can't do it. Wolfgram to a foot.
He made a mistake of going around his waist. I don't know why people do that. And you see John Smith, man, on the sideline. As soon as he did it, he's like, no, because when you're in on that single leg, there's a tendency to want to reach up around the waist, and when you do that, you give the guy an easy opportunity to get a whizzer in to kind of change the angle and put some pressure down on your shoulder, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose that takedown.
Doucet was 80% of the way there.
Right? Now, he does that, and he stays down on the leg, and he reaches across, grabs the other leg, then it takes that whizzer away, and he probably has himself a takedown and be it up another 3 points.
Somebody said something in the crowd about the jelly dance, and the officials kind of looked at each other and smiled. In case you're wondering how much the officials hear, they hear the things that make them laugh. They don't hear the things that don't make them laugh. Or like the rest of us, they hear it and they swallow their feelings.
That has a lot of truth to it. They're usually not the favorite people in the arena. And look, it is a tough job.
It's a
tough job. There's a lot of stuff happening.
It's often said there are 3 teams, home, away, and the officials, but
yeah,
but you're right. They're the one team of the 3 that people really are rooting for, and it's a thankless job.
I think it is. You have to stay up on things, and no matter what you're doing, somebody's not happy with it.
Right.
These controversial calls, as we call them, the ones that are nip and tuck, they could go one way or the other, and somebody's not happy with your decision every single time.
Well, we roll into the 3rd period.
Nice one, Eric.
Wolfgram,
whoa,
have to come into our domain. Shame this match isn't presented in 3D.
Right. Yes. Well, at least for us, it was almost very much that way. Did a nice job getting to his feet. There's a caution. Caution green.
Nobody has a riding time advantage, so an escape point for Wolfgram ties this up. It sets up what would be, it's already slated to be an interesting 3rd period as the bout hangs in the balance. Doucet with, you might have seen that earlier, the Pistol Pete logo on his headgear.
So Wolfgram did the same thing in that roll through, gets himself up to his feet.
Doucet's not letting him off the hook.
Doucet does a nice job of staying connected.
Wolfgram trying to break the clutch on Doucet's right hand. Twists. A single.
Well, they're still giving it to Doucet, right? So when Wolfgram shot back in, they still technically put Doucet in the control position. Wolfgram trying to do that, they would have given him definitely a reversal in that situation if he had ended up on top.
Wolfgram had that leg. Really nice job for Doucet to get out of it.
Well, he had it, but he didn't. Again, he didn't do the thing that you have to do, which is kind of drive through it. Now, right now, Doucet has a minute 7 on Wolfgram, yeah, for like crawling out of bounds, right? So Doucet's got a minute 7 riding time, which is going to give him a 1 point advantage, another point advantage at the moment, right? So technically, at the moment, up 2-1, and Wolfgram's got to consider that, because now it's not just an escape to tie it up. It's going to be an escape. You're going to have a takedown or something, or potential reversal, and then we're going to get a caution on top.
Riding time wasn't an issue earlier, and it definitely is after the 1st minute of this 3rd period.
But it all starts with you got to get out first. So it doesn't matter what the rest of it is if you can't get out.
Coliseum dripping with excitement.
And Doucet doing a nice job of just waiting that side and see him on the ankle. And Wolfgram's been able to get up to his feet a couple different times.
Oh, and he almost had it there, but he stumbled back. Inside 30 seconds, Wolfgram looking for any bit of leverage against Doucet, can't do it. Again, Doucet's got the riding time advantage, locked up with 22 seconds left. So Wolfgram needs a takedown to win the bout.
He's got to get out first, right? And Doucet's been doing a nice job on top. If you're in the national tournament and you can stay on top and ride somebody out for that 3rd period, you're going to win a lot of matches.
No doubt. Wolfgram to the feet. Now we're seeing a lot of those Oklahoma State wrestlers that were able to get out of this, they were able to bring their feet closer together, and Wolfgram hasn't done that.
Well, what's been happening is Wolfgram does that tripod stand-up, which makes sense, right? Makes sense to have that tripod stand-up. You see Doucet really trying to keep the weight down on his upper body, right, so that he can't get his upper body towards to sort of stand up and be up straight. And
really, with that last scramble, did us take time off the clock, so only
there's
four seconds left.
Right?
Not a lot of options for Michael Wolfgram. And this is going to run out on Wolfgram. Konner Doucet gets the riding time point. He wins by a 2-0 decision over Michael Wolfgram of West Virginia. And Oklahoma State wins their 5th straight road duel and their 5th of the year against a ranked team. And with more ranked teams coming on this Oklahoma State schedule, they are right where they want to be, 7-0 overall, 3-0 in the Big 12, and making a claim to put a lot of guys on the podium at nationals.
Well, look, there are very, very good